Part 1. The Footprints. In my mid-20s, my girlfriend took a 6-month contract job in Florida. From my doorstep, her apartment was a grueling 12-hour drive. Determined to keep our relationship alive, I'd take Fridays off, leave at 5 a.m., and spend the day on the road. The worst part was always the morning commute traffic, miles of bumper-to-bumper gridlock. For my final visit before she moved back, I decided to leave Thursday night after work and drive straight through. At first, it felt like a masterstroke. By 11 p.m., the highway was deserted, and I was making incredible time. Then the exhaustion hit. My eyelids grew heavy, and my head started doing that dangerous, involuntary drop. Just as panic took hold, a roadside sign appeared. Rest area, 2 miles. I pulled into a dimly lit, run-down facility, a small brick outpost with an open entryway leading to a brief hallway with restrooms on either side. Only one other car sat parked on the far edge of the lot. I stepped out, stretched, and did a few jumping jacks to wake up. Walking into the hallway, I tried the men's room door. Locked. Assuming someone was inside, I stepped back outside and waited. 10 minutes passed without anyone entering or leaving. I went back in and knocked firmly. Silence. Thinking the occupant might have slipped out unnoticed, I tried the women's room door. Unlocked. I knocked, called out a quick warning, and stepped inside, locking the door behind me for privacy. I washed my hands and splashed cold water over my face. Then came a light tap on the door. "Sorry, I'll be out in a second," I called out, embarrassed. Instantly, the polite tapping escalated into violent, relentless slamming. Heavy, aggressive fists battered the frame. I froze, my heart hammering in my chest. Just as suddenly as it began, the pounding stopped. I waited a moment, unlatched the lock, and pulled the door open. Nobody was in the hallway, but the men's bathroom door across the hall was now propped slightly open, and a trail of wet, muddy footprints stretched from inside the men's room directly to where I stood outside the women's door. My adrenaline spiked, instantly vaporizing my fatigue. I hurried outside, only to find the vehicle from the far side of the lot now parked directly adjacent to mine. The same muddy tracks led right up to my passenger door. Panicking, I retreated back inside to the men's room stall to catch my breath and rationalize the situation. It's just a weird coincidence. You're overtired in the middle of nowhere. Then the main restroom door squeaked open. Heavy footsteps echoed across the tile. Someone walked into the bathroom and clicked the deadbolt shut behind them. They moved slowly down the row, stopping directly in the stall next to mine. Peering under the metal divider, I saw the tips of a pair of work boots pointed straight at the wall separating us, staring directly at me. 30 agonizing seconds passed in complete silence. Unwilling to wait for whatever was coming next, I gently unlatched my stall door, bolted into the hallway, unlocked the outer deadbolt, and sprinted for my vehicle. Fresh, muddy footprints now circled my driver's side handle. As I threw the car into reverse and slammed the accelerator, I caught a split-second glimpse of a tall man in a dark green hoodie sprinting out of the restroom hallway toward my car. I floored it onto the highway, heart pounding, constantly checking my rearview mirror for a navy blue sedan until the sun finally came up. Part 2. Good to see you again. 15 years later, I was driving my wife, Jules, our 2 young daughters, and our dog, Bilbo, on a cross-country family trip. On the return leg, I volunteered to take the graveyard shift while everyone slept. By 3 a.m., a desperate need for a restroom forced me off the highway. Outside the rest stop entrance sat a middle-aged, bald man wearing outdated 1970s clothing, a faded button-up and patterned dress trousers. His eyes locked onto me, tracking my every step with a completely vacant expression. Inside, the air carried an unnatural, acrid odor, like an electrical short combined with damp earth. Midway through using the stall, the overhead lights suddenly cut out, plunging the room into absolute darkness. I froze. A second later, the heavy outer door clicked open and shut. Soft, rasping breaths echoed from the darkness near the doorway. Someone was standing right in front of the exit, watching me in the pitch black. I finished as quietly as possible, preparing to push past whoever was blocking the door. But as I unlatched the stall, the overhead lights flickered back on. The hallway was completely empty. Uneasy, I stepped up to the sink to wash my hands. As I raised my head, my heart stopped. Reflected in the mirror, the bald man from the bench was standing directly behind me, towering over my shoulder without having made a single sound. "What's your problem?" I demanded, spinning around. He didn't blink. His expression remained hollow. Then, in a strained, raspy whisper, he said, "It's good to see you again." A chill ran down my spine. I pushed past him and marched out to the truck. My family was still fast asleep, but when I took Bilbo out on his leash, the dog went wild, growling, whimpering, and desperately clawing at the bottom of the restroom door. Fearing the man might be in medical distress, I carried the dog back to the truck, locked my family inside, and returned to kick open the bathroom door. It was entirely empty. Every stall door stood wide open. I looked back out across the parking lot. There were no other vehicles, no tire marks, no footsteps in the gravel. Just an empty highway cutting through the night. Part 3. The match. During the isolation of 2020, I decided to try online dating. After weeks of dead ends, I matched on Tinder with Bianca, a stunning woman who shared my exact passions, right down to comic books and matching Batman tattoos in the exact same spot on her tricep. After a 2-hour FaceTime call where her face and voice matched her profile photos perfectly, she dropped a sudden detail. She was leaving town at 6 a.m. to drive back home to Tennessee. She proposed a late-night rendezvous at a desolate highway rest stop an hour away. Lonely and naive, I agreed immediately. When I arrived, the main lot was completely dark and deserted. I texted her that I had arrived. "I'm parked behind the building in the private lot," she replied. "Just walk around back and join me." I stepped out of my car and surveyed the building. Dense forest and thick, overgrown brush squeezed directly against the back of the small brick structure. There was no rear lot, no access road, and no path. Alarm bells finally went off. I retreated into the brightly lit lobby and texted her to come inside instead. "No," came the immediate reply. "It's not private enough. Come to the back." Suspicious, I dialed her number. Inside the quiet lobby, a phone ringtone suddenly chimed from the shadowed alcove near the vending machines. It rang once, then abruptly cut off as the call went straight to voicemail. I looked closely toward the vending machines. Casting across the tile floor was the distinct silhouette of a tall, broad-shouldered figure hiding in the corner. I turned without a word, walked back to my car, and ducked into the driver's seat with the headlights off. From the dark lot, I watched through the lobby windows. A tall, towering figure stepped out from behind the vending machines, holding a glowing smartphone. A second later, my phone buzzed with a text from Bianca. "Where did you go?" I started the engine and glided out of the parking lot without turning my lights on until I hit the main highway. 20 minutes later, one final text appeared on my screen. "I guess I'll get you next time."